Most people believe they are lacking motivation, but what they are actually lacking is obedience to reason. They wake up each day negotiating with themselves, asking how they feel, checking their energy, measuring their mood, as if these unstable things should govern their actions. The Stoics would have found this strange. They did not place authority in emotion. They placed it in duty. They understood that feelings rise and fall without warning, but responsibility remains. If you wait to feel motivated before you train your body, then your body does not belong to you. It belongs to chance, to sleep, to comfort, to whatever mood happens to arrive that morning. The Stoic begins from a different premise. You are not created to seek ease. You are created to function, to endure, to act. The body is not a toy, and it is not a decoration. It is the vessel through which your principles move in the world. A neglected body weakens every virtue. Patience shortens, courage fades, temperance collapses. When the body is fragile, the mind becomes cautious in the wrong way. It begins to avoid effort, not because effort is harmful, but because it feels unfamiliar. This is how softness enters character. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that each morning he would meet discomfort, fatigue, and resistance. He did not treat these as problems. He treated them as expected conditions of life. Training the body follows the same logic. Resistance is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that the exercise is working. The burning in the muscles, the pressure in the lungs, the heaviness in the limbs, these are not warnings of danger. They are evidence of adaptation. The Stoic does not dramatize these sensations. He observes them. He remains steady while they pass. Modern thinking has taught people to treat discomfort as an enemy, to avoid it, to eliminate it. But the Stoics knew that avoidance weakens the soul. When discomfort is avoided, the threshold for distress lowers. What once felt manageable begins to feel overwhelming. The person becomes fragile without realizing it. Training reverses this. It raises the threshold. It teaches the nervous system calm under pressure. It teaches the mind that difficulty does not equal harm. This is why the Stoic does not chase motivation. Motivation is excitement, and excitement is unstable. Discipline is quiet. Discipline does not announce itself. It simply shows up. The Stoic trains on days when energy is high and on days when energy is absent. He does not interpret tiredness as a command. He interprets it as a condition to work through intelligently. There is a difference between recklessness and resolve. The Stoic respects the body, but he does not obey its complaints blindly. Choice is where most people fail. Each day, they reopen the same debate. Should I train today? Should I rest? Should I wait until tomorrow? This constant questioning exhausts the mind before action even begins. The Stoic removes this burden by deciding once. Training is scheduled. It exists in the structure of the day, like eating or sleeping. It is not emotional. It is procedural. When the time arrives, the body moves. There is no drama. There is no internal argument. This is not harshness. It is efficiency. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from mastering what depends on you and releasing what is not. Your mood does not depend on you. Your energy fluctuates beyond your control, but your actions are yours. When you act according to reason instead of emotion, you reclaim authority. Each training session completed without desire strengthens this authority. The mind learns that it cannot manipulate you with discomfort. Over time, resistance loses its influence. It still appears, but it no longer decides. Pain plays a central role in this education. Pain is misunderstood because it is rarely examined calmly. The Stoic does not romanticize pain, but he does not fear it either. He separates sensation from interpretation. A burning muscle is a sensation. The thought that this sensation is unbearable is an interpretation. When interpretation is removed, sensation becomes manageable. This is one of the deepest Stoic practices, to experience difficulty without adding unnecessary judgment. Training provides daily opportunities to practice this skill. You feel strain and you remain composed. You feel fatigue and you continue with control. You feel the urge to stop and you pause, breathe, and proceed deliberately. These moments accumulate. They reshape your relationship with discomfort, not only in the gym, but in life. Stress at work becomes easier to carry. Delays become less irritating. Frustration loses its urgency. The body teaches the mind resilience through repetition. Identity emerges quietly through action. The Stoic does not repeat affirmations. He does not tell himself stories about who he wants to be. He becomes someone through consistent behavior. When you train regardless of mood, you stop seeing yourself as someone who needs motivation. You become someone who acts. This identity shift is subtle but powerful. Once established, it sustains itself. Discipline becomes natural. Neglect begins to feel strange. Systems support this identity. The Stoic understands human limitation. He does not rely on willpower alone. He arranges his environment to reduce friction. Clothing prepared in advance. A clear plan. Minimal choices. These details matter. They remove opportunities for delay. They respect the reality that even disciplined people experience fatigue. Systems ensure continuity when enthusiasm disappears. Silence protects discipline. The Stoic does not broadcast his training. He does not seek recognition. He does not measure his worth through external validation. Training done in obscurity is pure. It reveals intention. When no one is watching, excuses lose their audience. Integrity becomes visible only to you. This privacy strengthens resolve. It anchors discipline internally rather than socially. The long view defines Stoic training. The body is temporary, but neglect accelerates decline. Strength preserves autonomy. Endurance preserves dignity. As years pass, those who trained retain independence longer. They recover faster. They rely less on others. This is not vanity. It is responsibility. To remain capable is to reduce burden on those around you. The Stoic trains not for admiration, but for usefulness. There will be days when training feels heavy and unrewarding. These days are not failures. They are the most valuable. Anyone can train when excited. Few can train when indifferent. These sessions carve discipline into character. They teach you that action does not require emotional permission. Over time, this becomes liberating. You stop waiting. You stop hesitating. You act when required. In the end, the question is not how to motivate yourself to work out. The question is whether you will live governed by impulse or by principle. Emotion will always offer reasons to stop. Duty offers direction. Your body is entrusted to you. Its condition reflects your habits, not your intentions. Strength is built quietly. Weakness arrives silently. The Stoic chooses preparation over regret. You rise, you train, you endure, not because you feel inspired, but because this is what a disciplined person does. Again and again, without noise, without excuses, without negotiation. And over time, motivation becomes unnecessary. Discipline carries you, character sustains you, and the body, once neglected, becomes an ally rather than an obstacle. And when the day ends and the body is tired and the muscles carry the quiet weight of honest effort, I do not seek praise. I do not seek reward. The effort itself is enough. It reminds me that I was not idle, that I did not surrender the day to weakness disguised as comfort, that I remained faithful to what reason required of me. There will be times when progress feels invisible, when a mirror changes slowly, when strength seems to plateau. On these days, I remind myself that the purpose was never display. The purpose was reliability. To be someone who can be counted on. By others, yes, but more importantly, by myself. A person who keeps his word even when no one is listening. Especially when no one is listening. I do not train for excitement. I train for steadiness. For the ability to remain composed when pressure rises. For the confidence that comes not from appearance, but from preparedness. When difficulty arrives, and it always does, I want to meet it as something familiar, something I have rehearsed, something I have chosen before it was forced upon me. Each time I move when I would rather remain still, I remind myself that this is freedom, not the freedom to indulge every impulse, but the freedom to command myself. The freedom to act without permission from mood. The freedom to choose effort over ease again and again without resentment. So if these words have reached you at a moment of hesitation, understand this. You are not broken. You are not unmotivated. You are simply standing at the familiar crossroads between comfort and discipline. One path feels easier now and costs you later. The other feels demanding now and carries you forward for years. The choice is rarely dramatic. It is usually quiet. It is usually made alone. Choose the action that strengthens you, even slightly. Choose it today. Choose it again tomorrow. Do not wait for confidence. Let confidence be the result. Do not wait for motivation. Let discipline carry you until motivation becomes unnecessary. And if this reflection has helped steady your mind, if it has reminded you of what you already knew but momentarily forgot, then remain here. Return when you need clarity. Consider subscribing, not for entertainment, but for reinforcement. For reminders like this, calm, deliberate, and honest, that help you realign with reason when noise grows loud. Walk your path quietly. Train without spectacle. Improve without announcement. And when the world grows heavy, let your discipline be the place where you stand firm. And if these words have steadied your thoughts, if they have reminded you of the discipline you already carry, but sometimes forget to use, then let this not be a single moment of clarity. Return to it when resistance appears again, as it always does. Reflection, like training, strengthens through repetition. If you find value in these reminders, you may show your support quietly. A simple like tells this message to reach others who are searching for steadiness rather than noise. And if you wish to continue walking this path of calm, discipline, and reason, you may subscribe, so these reflections are there when you need them. There is no urgency, no pressure, only consistency. Train your body, govern your mind, Return to what is essential.